one, you're going to take shots at it. You need to do everything you can to immobilize that team that has the vehicle. And in that case there, we saw Snaze was actually able to blow it up, use it as a weapon against the team that was driving it. And the knock is really, really clean for them as well. So they won't be able to actually pounce on that loot. I don't believe Chrisif is still up there as well as a solo. I'm sure they'll think about if there's a pathway to get there, but it does seem like it might be a bit too risky. So they'll just have to watch from afar, but really nice stuff from these guys. Just look at the mats on Queasy, Shio.
They've invested, man. They've really invested to get to this point, and they still don't have the zone. So I'll have to move in just a second. Being beside iDrop and Jerky, though. Apologies, the big drop in Jerky, though.
Yes.
They're in the right place. Let's hope the timing is good on when they actually end up moving in. It's going to be very difficult to find a foothold. Once again, some of the late movers in these zones end up being beside the bottom of a rock cliff or maybe somewhere else. Can't really see one side or one half of your position of where you are. iDrop actually chooses to move up and across. Not being in a troubling position is very nice. Rose and Shizo. Once again, lots of these faster, much quicker than before, and have possibly the biggest pedestal to get points, or pedestal to get points at this moment. Everyone also rocking in undisturbed to Greasy right now. I'm not seeing many people fall in the feed moving into this circle, but the north side will have to be the focus. I'm guessing desperate box fights will be had in the south if there are maybe one or two teams who are in trouble. But up north, there's still a few teams who are not in. Slowway, Screwy moving through, and he's going to be a nuisance on the backside of some of these players who are really late and getting into the zone. A few picks, and that's Bubak down. That's one, and a lot of crucial mats for the man as well. Still below on Surge, though, and this is all about getting as many points as possible before you go down. You'd have to assume for Screwy in this moment as a solo.
Почистила, зразу поставила, користуюсь замочою, довго буду варити. От, я так швидко вже йшла на чистку, трошки прийшла, тільки поставила варити. Могла купити, не було. Наверно, стидно не було. Я так біжала, геть прийшла. Вчора може поїду. Гарні, але... Нема, в магазинах купить продуктами, скаже, мені казали дівчат, що в бідрьонки раніше скуплялися все, а зараз у бідрьонки нема що купити. Я типу наїхала, не вибора такого продукту.
Ready to ramp up down bottom, the one of the most powerful duels we've seen so far. On the bottom right there. Moving free, getting ahead of the zone, looking for their positions. Shines us under the backside. Has a chance for a few floppers left and right, and going for a sidewinder pump shot. That's going to be huge for him, but drops down with the improper timing. One more flopper to take his desperation, but he goes down, and now it's a chance, possibly for Chapix to wrap back and take that first place spot. As I say that, though, Henqueezy still alive. This man is in a world of hurt. He's feeling that pain, still moving right past it, and surviving so far in the zone.
Yeah, and there was a med miss down there. That's going to be huge, right? He already had one in his inventory, but if he has any hope of making some sort of crazy solo clutch, the med miss will be huge. Just seeing Snazy realizing that for himself as well. He needs that to stay in this game. The zone's actually going to pull back towards him, and that's going to be huge, right, for Snazy and Podesai. Can they claim and take control of low ground as it pulls down this little hill here as well? This is going to be a crucial moment for them in their pursuit of a win.
Chapik still alive, though, getting a few picks inside that feed. Eye drop and Jerky also taking apart duo after duo all the way up top. It's a duo that's also alive, and Chapik's meeting hand in hand inside their builds. Relvis was down to Chapik's before, and Krusty gets found out by Tayson galore. It's huge for this duo right now, and they pick up the mats as well. They're ready to go. Look at the space they have, Levin. This must be their game.
Yeah, this is easy as pie for Tayson and Chapix. They run this layup, but how many more can they dominate? They want it all right now.
Easy as pie, but they're crunched like a pastry inside that mid-ground as well. It's going to be tough for them to move through the sauce. Meanwhile, Podesai and Snazy, 360 degrees of pressure, and somehow they're making sense of it. Move past on their own lair. Jerky and Eyedrop actually start to tighten things down from high ground. Looking down below, they have the med-miss opportunity as well as the harpoon. It's all wood builds. And Big Piece takes. It's on the Chapix too. He's at half HP. Tayson desperate to move inside these boxes, but Jerky's moving forward to have even more pressure. All walls controlled, but Tayson finds a little bit of reprieve, some escape. This man is just too fast. He has permanent sprint mode on, and Jerky loses him.
Yeah, Jerky had to be careful there. Needs to reload his weapons, right? You can go down to take fights,
oh, no!
but you need to make sure you're well equipped. Snazy will go at it. Podesai now left alone. Snazy gets knocked in, so a clutch potential here for Podesai. Can he drop down in the right amount of time? Jerky is still up, right? He's playing. It looks like he's a solo, but no. Eyedrop, his teammate, is still there. True. And so it's a 2v2. Well, actually, no, there's more teams in this one. My bad, right? So handful to deal with. Hookah will come through, his teammate, his orgmate running into him, and he deals with that. Not done with the battle himself. He needs to be careful because Podesai hits hard and hits heavy. Eyedrop now trying to clean up for what his teammate couldn't do. Can he take Podesai out in this moment? You can see how difficult it is. The zone is closing Podesai away. He's tanking that damage, and Eyedrop is able to just stay up and wait as the zone continues to take Zeston all the way down below. He needs to make use of his med miss. He needs to get his HP up while he can before it's too late. Podesai, well, just an inch of HP. It might be too late for him as well if he's not careful.
He's found corn and bandages as well. This man's ready to go. All Eyedrop has is 120 HP of that med miss to use. Does Eyedrop have enough heals? Can he find Zeston as well? Now he understands what's going down. If he doesn't get shot a little bit, he might take that fall damage too all the way. Heals. Who has it? It's This man is too powerful. He overheats in that 8th zone, gets so many eliminations, and the victory royale.
It's the big drop with a victory royale, a heal-off. No, that's not the type of heal-off we've been accustomed to seeing today, but definitely one he will be proud of. The med miss came in clutch, and the big drop was able to close it out for Eyedrop and Jerky, and you can see what it means to them. Jerky, ecstatic, brilliant stuff for that duo. Game 4 goes to them.
I really like the split they had too, sending Jerky down to do as much damage as possible, interrupt Podesai, maybe put some pressure on his Zeston down too. That was a lot of trust in Eyedrop, or the big drop once again by Sorry all the way up top. But let's see exactly what the analyst does have to say about that one, because that was a very thick game.
Thank you so much, Shia, Wager, and Levin. My goodness, you love to see those moments we can like faces. Just see them get excited. That's what this is all about, baby. Game number 4, I believe that was, if I'm not mistaken, Reese. You know me, I never learned how to count or read, so don't hold anything against me. Thank you so much for that confirmation, Reese. Wow, one for the books. A lot of chaos now in this last game, but I kind of really just want to go back and touch on like Podesai there and Snazy. Their awareness on those mid-game tarps were kind of next level, man. They looked so clean for a long time, and to make it into top 3, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, for them, that's kind of like a classic playstyle that we've seen Snazy do way back when in trios, right? A long time ago, that mid to low ground playstyles where he's always been super good. And Podesai, like, is a player that, it's so funny because I don't know that much about him, right? When I was looking back, I feel like every tournament I hear about Podesai. I see Podesai, and when I looked him up, I was like, he's only made one FNCS finals back in Chapter 2, Season 6. I just assumed that he'd made way more than that, but this could be the time for him now.
Yeah, and I want to talk about iDrop and Jerky, right? iDrop and Jerky from that high ground. They got a little bit of a lucky zone pull. Zone pulled back slightly into that 7th and 8th moving zone. But, you know, you can always rely on iDrop. You know, this guy is the absolute solo demon. The big drop. Sorry about that. He's the absolute solo god, right? Qualified multiple solo cash cups. And when you want someone in a 1v1v1 in those final situations, he's the guy with the nerves of steel and he's going to be able to do it. I liked, by the way, how Jerky dropped down there, really trying to play the format, trying to get those extra eliminations, and at the end, of course, seeing his face cam there is always lovely to see.
Absolutely, and you know what? In 3 of the 4 games so far, they've been on height at some point, right? They've been able to hold that out because none of the other height teams are really left in the game. We saw Queasy and Hen on very early in the 5th zone. However, they took it with minimal materials. Then we saw a huge material investment in that first moving because they didn't have a launch pad. So it's like, after that, Pinker and Ass weren't in the game either. So a lot of the big height teams were gone, which allowed Jerky and iDrop to capitalize on that.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be the return of Hen and Queasy, right? You know, they're finally an end game that they made it into, but as you saw in Fit Count, not looking too hard about 50 builds per person there, and you know, unfortunately, they're not going to be one of those teams that are going to do it today, I feel like.
Man, that's a tough pill to swallow, but again, a few more qualifiers. We're still playing for series points. Much can still happen. Let's take a look at our standings and see how we can prepare ourselves for games 5 and 6. Remember, once again, top 5 is the cutoff. That's where we're trying to make it. If we can get in that top 5, we can auto-qualify to finals and just take a deep breath. Take a look at our top 5 right now, Reese.
I mean, one of the interesting things here is that between 2nd to 3rd was like 40 points before that last game. Now that margin has definitely narrowed up a little bit with a lot of the other teams' potential. So it seems like Tayson and Chapix in 1st. Look, they've probably qualified in the next 2 games. Snazy and Podesai kind of the same. Maybe not. You know, they could go down off Simon. What I would do was Krusty in 4th. The big drop, and Jerky now up in 6th alongside Satan and Dark as well. So these guys are all super close to that ability to qualify here. So I want to see, there's 2 more games left. Can any of these teams manage to keep that consistency up through the next 2 games?
I don't like the curse there that you did, Reese, on Tayson and Chapix. You never know. 2 games, like you saw, 14 places above for iDrop and Jerky. Anyone can do that, and Tayson and Chapix could fall out of the top 5. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed because the Reese curse is kind of crazy.
Definitely.
With just 2 more games to go, we're gearing up right now. This qualifier 1 is coming to a very quick conclusion. So let's find our seats on the bus. Let's find some popcorn. Let's get ready for this next game. Shy Wager 11 2K over your beautiful faces.
I don't have popcorn here, Zeke, but what I do have is an appetite for more amazing games. 11, I mean, some of the top names not in the last one. Are you liking the way it's going with these up-and-comers jumping up spots, or do we want to see that big, hot, tough action?
No, that's what it's all about, right? I think even when you look at round 4, the teams that qualified through, right? After round 3 yesterday, people were sort of saying, well, there's a lot of teams who we would have expected to call that didn't, right? And so if you sleep and you miss out on your opportunity, people will be there to take it, right? And that's what it's all about. Of course, some of these newer names have been impressing over the past couple seasons, and at some point, right, people will have to start taking over, and I think we're starting to see that today.
Yeah, and even if you aren't asleep, even if you're awake or ready to go on your POIs, there's some people who are ready to put you to bed, right? We're seeing these third-party things happen game after game. In the last one, DK has a bad sniper sometimes. What can we expect in this one, Lev?
Look, if it's the case of Greasy Grove, that's a deep picking up from that anytime soon, and that pains me to say, but you know, we've seen some domination. We're going to probably see some more domination, but let me not speak too soon. We've got
right, 2 more to go. 1 more chance to kind of fix mistakes, and after that, it's a lock-in game where it's kind of the last chance to do whatever you can. They switch up for some teams, but everyone should be in trouble right off spawn. 3 teams over here so far in Cuddle, 1 flying across. That's Lowless, doesn't want anything to do with this fight so far, and Girls is already down.
Yeah, that's real tough. You're seeing Shiza was able to get the pick-me-up there.
Oh, okay, reverse sleep happening over at Greasy. ADN finally going down for the first time. That's Tanano, a new team that's landing there.
Well, that's what I was actually going to say, right, in terms of before we saw the fight happening there at Camp Cuddle. The nature of the bus path meant that the team that was third party in the Greasy